Sex sells, how ads use sex appeal. So the general topic here is that sex appeal is used in advertisements to gain the attention of the viewer. Sex appeal in advertising can be categorized into five dimensions. That's functional, fantasy, symbolism, inappropriate, and male or female orientations.
The article that we went over is called An Explanatory Study of Sex Appeal in Advertising. It was done by David Richman and Timothy P. Hartman. That's the reference right there. The introduction. So sex in advertising has been a very polarizing topic in terms of its place slash belonging in the topic of consumerism. However, it's rarely been explored as to whether it is effective or not. So the hypothesis of the article is that sex in advertising can be categorized into five dimensions: functional, fantasy, symbolism, inappropriate, and male and female orientations, and can be useful for advertising if used properly. So the methods to test this, what they did was they ran an experiment where 50 adults were asked questions over several big name advertisements. They were asked questions such as offensive or unoffensive, and that was asked to cover the topic of inappropriate, or practical, impractical for functional, or male and female, obviously, for the male-female orientation. After that, they were then asked, the sample was then asked to recall from the top two for each dimension, so the ones that got offensive the most, which ones were more qualified than the other based on a numeric value, as in, on a scale of 1 to 10, which one of these two was more offensive. The results, people were able to classify the different advertisements into the aforementioned five dimensions easily and were able to recall and label them as such. So the conclusion was that careful and appropriate use of sex appeal in advertising can prove to be effective and useful in marketing a product because these people were able to quickly associate a brand name with the ad based off of those five dimensions. Like either it fit as offensive or unoffensive, or it fit as inappropriate, or it fit as functional, fantasy, symbolism, and so forth. Okay, so I randomly found this ad actually while browsing the internet. I thought it was fitting because of the ongoing presidential election. This ad is sponsored by the American Institute of Graphic Arts and is trying to persuade more people to vote. It depicts a pair of legs and high heels inside a voting booth. The image is also captioned with "Voting is sexy and nothing sexier than someone who takes action. Vote." The ad is clearly utilizing sex appeal to try and get more voters to go out and vote. Um, it's trying to convey the message that voting is sexy and empowering. This is a great uh, example of a female-orientated ad. And according to the article, it should motivate people to vote more. Now, this is my modified ad. I put pants on the lady. Also removed all the somewhat, you know, sexualized messages. So now it just says vote now. Accordingly, it should be less effective now. It's not using any sex appeal at all.
So the ad here is for a perfume brand. It's an Azaro cologne ad, and it consists of two attractive individuals. The guy is wearing a black dress shirt and has a stern, charming look, while the lady has a white dress on and seems to be infatuated with the guy's scent. Obviously, this ad is male oriented because it tends to basically advertise to the consumers that there is a possibility of having a dating advantage simply by using this product. And this method of advertising may prove to be effective as we live in a culture that values appearance and first impressions. So this ad could be modified, by removing the individuals and leaving just the perfume name and the image, which should make the ad less appealing. And if sexual appeal was actually an important factor for people, considering purchasing this product, then we might have less people who would purchase the product with the modified ad than we would with the previous ad.